guys, how's it going? Today we are going to work on some planting projects. And it's a little breezy today, but we've got the low-scape Snowfire Aronia, which is such a gorgeous shrub, you guys. If you have a spot to put one of these, I would highly recommend it. They get 4 to 6 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide, and they bloom so profusely in the spring you can hardly see leaves. Like, they are top to bottom white flowers in the spring. So gorgeous. We've got 3 in the south garden that I have enjoyed so much that I've got 10 that I want to dot out here throughout the dirt land so that we get that spring interest. But not only the spring interest, they get this really pretty just deep green leaf through the season that has a tiny bit of a luster, and then these leaves turn the brightest red in the fall. And you can see we're not quite there yet, which surprises me. First day I've needed a winter coat. It says it's 51 out, but the real feel is 41 with the wind. So it's feeling a little fresh out here. But if you look close, you can see that they're starting to put on a little bit of color, but these get so bright red. I can't find a leaf that really shows it. This one's on its way. And the flowers turn into berries. So the common name is chokeberry, and it gets that name because the fruit's really like astringent, and birds will eat off of them. It's not their first choice, which means the berries stay longer on these plants, but they do eventually clean them up. So you get the spring flowers, you get the pretty luster deep green leaf during the season, you get the fall color, and then you get berries in the winter. And they're incredibly adaptable to all kinds of different things, and they like our high pH soil, which is wonderful, zone 3 through 9. And then we have a variety of cypress called Gin Fizz. I've got one of these out in the south garden. They get big, which is so deceiving. Look at how little and cute this little shrub is. They grow 12 to 18 feet tall and wide. So, I mean, while it looks small and petite and sweet right now, it's gonna need some space. So out here is the perfect area for these to grow. And maybe we can find a good picture and pop it up on the screen. But they do have just kind of this wild texture, but they take on a little bit of a cone form, like a pyramidal form as they mature. I can't really see it on there. Well, there you go, see? Look at that. Zone 5 through 9 on this one. And then we have some bulbs. So Proven Winners just sent these out this past week, and I thought that we would pop these in the ground. Our big order of bulbs from Color Blends has not arrived yet. I'm expecting it to get here within the next 1 to 2 days, so we'll be doing lots of bulb planting here fairly soon, but I thought it would be nice just to get these in. They're pretty. But look at these. I'm such a huge fan of double flowers. It's called Double Sorbet Blend. There's 12 bulbs in here, but I'm excited for that. And then there's a couple different blends of daffodils. So we've got the Golden Meadow blend, and it says it's the butterfly mixed varieties. I love these. And then, oh, look at this. Double daffodils. This is called Morning Sunrise blend, and they are pretty. We've grown lots of daffodils that look really similar to these. So anyway, that is the order of today. And I don't know if we're gonna have to take the coat off eventually or if we're gonna be able to wear it this whole time. It feels at this point like I'm gonna be able to wear it. However, I do see some blue sky coming. What a pretty day. I just wanna make sure to be out here and squeeze every last drop of good weather before winter sets in. I love it. And the plants will also like getting into the ground. I thought I might put some of the Aronia right in here, but I'm gonna take a spin around just to look at everything and make sure we pick out a good spot. I also want to show you our Maximilian sunflower over here. Right, that's what it's called. It's massive. Oh, and Benjamin's out here with his bird app. Look at this thing. This is the most monstrous perennial I have ever grown. Isn't this wild that we cut this back? Well, was it last fall? We cut it back last October. I actually remember the specific day I cut this back last fall. It was in October, and we had a pumpkin carving party planned that night at my brother and sister-in-law's house, and I was trying to hurry and get through the cutting back of this plant, and it was such a beast. But that's when it was up there by the house, closer to the house, and it just wasn't fitting its spot anymore because, my goodness, I actually think it's growing bigger this year than it ever has. But what we moved out here doesn't seem like it's enough roots to create what it has done. Oh my goodness, but it is starting to bloom beautifully. We're earlier in October than when I cut it back last year. Usually by right around Halloween, like week of, it's kind of done. So we'll have a few weeks of pretty bloom out here. Okay, task at hand. It's sidetracked so easy. Oh, he's telling me to be quiet. Oh, There's a black cat out here. See it? How appropriate near the pumpkin patch. Be pretty to have some right out here too. Okay. You know what, it would look really good to have some right in here. All right, guys, I placed 9 of them in this area. I was gonna spread them out, but wouldn't it look so striking to have them kind of all in this little bit of a lazy hedge through here? And they won't touch. They'll be separate shrubs in the end, and we can come in with some other things up front, which would be really pretty. But my goodness, can you imagine in the spring how these would look? So pretty. And our plan right here, the reason why this works in this big section by the fence is that I think we're going to come in with more North Poles right along the backside, because we do have a locust tree right here. Ooh. Ah, that's cold. Thanks, bud. It might just knock right back over, which that's okay if it does. Anyway, we've got enough room for North Poles right here, but not anything else that's, you know, big and evergreen. So that was our plan. We put one right here because we had one left over after another project, and we thought, well, we'll eventually come in and pop those in. And this could be a nice layer right in front. And then we'll have one more to pop somewhere else in a maybe more of a random spot. We like random spots, don't we? Yeah. Okay, first 9 are in and they look really good. I cannot wait to see what these look like when they're in bloom next spring. So here's a look from this angle. Now I'm standing next to a Norway spruce that we are going to be taking out right here. So this little section will open up, and I'm thinking of putting in probably more North Poles. So we'll have North Poles back here and right here, but I would like to have something red, like a smoke bush or a black lace elderberry or something like that in this space. So I mean, silver lining, we always wish that something would thrive, but sometimes they just don't. And in this case, I think something red will look better anyway. So that's the plan for that spot. And then we've got the beautiful hedge of Aronia. Let's take a look from the other side. Look at how gorgeous. Now again, these get 4 to 6 feet tall, but we have a blue chiffon Rosa Sharon, which gets bigger than that. Our grass gets 6 feet tall, so that will kind of pop through. I mean, if these get to the full size end of their range, they'll be about the same height, but you'll see there'll be a break enough in the shrubs that you'll be able to see the grass still. So I think that will be nice. And then we do have room enough to put something else smaller right in front. The one thing to note about Aronia is that they do bloom on old wood. So if you need to prune them, if you put them somewhere where you need to keep them a little bit smaller, you would want to prune them immediately after they bloom in the spring, kind of like you would with a lilac or a forsythia. That way they still have time to form up buds for next year's blooms. But other than that, I mean, if you can find a spot where you can just let them do their thing, that's ideal, and we shouldn't have to touch these at all. So let's go find a spot for our last one and our Haywire Cypress. Did I call these Gin Fizz? I think I called them Gin Fizz, like the Gin Fizz juniper, and they're not. They're a Haywire false cypress. I do think I called them a cypress though. I get my wires crossed sometimes, you guys. You know, I'm gonna take the long way around. That way I can show you the other Haywire Cypress that we do have out in the South Garden. Look at those impatiens. Boy, if they would just do that earlier on in the season, I'd like them a lot more. Call them our fall, late summer to fall interest annuals. Smells like somebody has a grill on somewhere. Oh, it smells good. All right, here it is. That is the Haywire Cypress that I planted when it was this size. It's about, I want to say it's been in the ground for 3 years at this point, and it's put on quite a lot of growth, and it looks really pretty in there. I mean, we'll see how long it takes to get to the larger end of its size range, but boy, it looks pretty right here, doesn't it? Oh, I love seeing those asters blooming right there and just all of the movement here. The lighting helps too. Some good lighting today. I gotta go pick up my gloves. They flew off the gator. Jeez. Tempted to put a Gin Fizz right there. Maybe that's too close to everything else. Try again. Right here. This would be a really good spot for one of our crabapple trees. Okay, we're gonna move on. I wouldn't mind having a nice soft green shrub covering this stuff right here. That looks really pretty right there. And we have plenty of space to do something bigger right behind it. And we also have an ivory silk lilac right here, which I can't remember the stats on this one. Does it get like 20 feet tall by 15 feet wide, something like that? So anyway, I think it'll be nice just to have something to soften this little area right here. And I can come along with maybe a ornamental grass or something to pop right here so it's nice and soft to work around, but it would cover up the rest of it. Okay, just have bulbs in our cypress. Here at the end of the North Garden, right at the top of the hill, we swing this way, you can see the rest of the berm. And I think I would like to work these cypress in kind of a trio in this little corner here. So like maybe popping one right in here, because it will be shorter than these. Is that too much of the same texture? I think it might be. We gotta move it, dang it. If it was just a little bit more blue, it would have worked right there. But I think in the end it would look too much like the same thing in that space. So maybe if we just move it down a little bit. Oh my goodness. Oh, the wind. Oh yeah, I think that'll look pretty there. Whoop. You guys, you want to know something else? The magpies, they're taking after my iris. I don't know if that's a normal thing, but I actually caught the magpies in the act. One of them had an iris rhizome in their mouth and they were dragging it out of its hole. And it's just these back on this end of the property. I've had to replant this a bunch of times. Bury it just a little deeper, dang. Hopefully it's okay. Oh, so refreshing. My goodness. Trio. Let me see if they're the same spacing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You've got to be kidding me. 11. What? That never happens to me. It's a great day. All right, there are the cypress. 12 to 18 feet tall and wide. They can just do their thing out here. And they'll have a big, tall purple robe locust behind them. Okay, now all we have left are the bulbs. And I think I'd like to plant them here on the north berm. There's no bulbs over here yet. And it's kind of perfect because I can see exactly where the drip line is. So I can come along with my 3-inch auger and just, put a few little holes here, a few here, kind of spread them out a little bit and they'll get water. We won't have to run any extra drip. That'd be perfect. And for daffodils and tulips, we need to go about 6 inches deep. But with the auger, it'll be pretty quick. I'll toss a little, hold on, woo! I am sorry if the audio is bad. I do have my mic covered, but sometimes that doesn't even help. I'm gonna toss a little biotone in the hole just to get them going. You can use bulb tone as well, but I happen to have biotone in my gator, so we're gonna go with it. And I think I'm just gonna mix the 2 daffodil varieties together in this space right here so that we've got 24 bulbs in this space altogether. We plant them with the pointy side facing up and the more flattened side facing down. And you kind of see a little bit of roots down there too. So I've tossed them in the hole. What I do is I go back along and make sure that they're facing upright and then make sure they're about 6 inches down. Like that. Same for the tulip bulbs, pointy side up, flattened side facing down. Okay, we are done. All of the tulips ended up right in this section here, and all the daffodils are just down the way a little bit. And we can just slowly start adding more of that early spring interest into this space. And the sun did decide to come out. I was able to take my coat off, right, of course, right at the end of the project. But I'm really happy with all that we got done today. All those Aronia are going to be so beautiful. I cannot wait. And you know, getting even the small evergreens in, it's fun to watch them grow. Like seeing the Haywire out in the south garden, it kind of makes me realize, like, oh my goodness, yes, it was that small at one point in time. It has put on quite a lot of growth, and it's beautiful out there. Like, I wouldn't even mind if it stayed smaller, but they'll do great where they are, no matter what size they get. Oh, there's a big hawk. Benjamin would be flipping out. Look at that, just soaring. Oh, beautiful. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna be done for the day. I'm gonna go do something out of the wind. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.